Hey Pokemon fans, Real Mama Eagle here, also known as Key, and today I'm here to talk about my 6 favorite characters in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. The opinions in this video are my own based off how much I like the characters, their overall vibe, and what they add into the story. Before we get into this list, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below and let me know what characters you love in Scarlet and Violet. Now let's get started. Number 6. Tulip. Tulip is a psychic gym leader now for Nada, and she's very aesthetically appealing. Honestly, one of the best looking gym leaders we've had since Elisa in Gen 5 because they are both models, which means they're both very beautiful. Tulip has that beautiful dress, that beautiful fit, face just perfect with the makeup, and she pretty much is very popular and very known. But I also like her gym leader test where you basically assume the emotions of Pokemon, which basically tells me she cares about people's emotions and well-being and their Pokemon as well. And that's a hard thing to do when you're really busy leading a lifestyle as a model, but we stand a queen who could take the time to be beautiful, care about people, and also make a lot of money. That makes her worthy of top 6. Number 5. Penny. Penny is the big boss as Team Star. She went by the alias of Cassiopeia during your playthrough of Scarlet or Violet. Penny has a lot of layers to her, and she's definitely a character that you really kind of grew to love as the story went on. It's funny because the Team Star bosses were her friends and she cared for them greatly, but ultimately she wanted to disband Team Star because she was tired of the shenanigans. Penny was basically just a give peace a chance type of person and wanted her Team Star boss friends just to calm down a bit, but ultimately there was some sympathy because she did feel bad that they were bullied, that they all went through that, and she was kind of afraid to stand up to them. But ultimately, the thing about Penny that makes her special is she did do the right thing, showing great morals and great integrity, which makes her worthy of top 5. Number 4. Professor Seda and Professor Turo. These professors definitely got a lot of love in my video where I ranked the Pokemon professors, but their story is what sets them apart. I love the fact that for the first time in a Pokemon game, Pokemon was not afraid to have a dark dynamic parent to child between a professor and their kid, and that's what happened with Professor Seda, Professor Turo, and Arvin. Professor Seda and Professor Turo got so caught up in their work in the Great Crater of Paldea that they neglected their son Arvin, and it definitely shows the human side of things and the fact that they're kind of relatable because a lot of kids and parents relate to this situation. And I also have to say that there's some integrity in either. We tried to figure out why we never had a face-to-face interaction with them during the game. They never left the Great Crater. And we figured out was because they wanted to keep the Paradox Pokemon from escaping in Paldea. So ultimately, they did the right thing by not letting these Pokemon go into Paldea because they didn't know what danger they could have caused. So you would have to say that even with their parental flaws, Professor Seda and Turo definitely had some good moral integrity. So good that their AI was even willing to shut down the entire system after that final battle, so those Paradox Pokemon could stay down in the crater. Definitely a great character arc, even for a robot, and definitely worthy of top 4. Number 3, Nemona. Nemona is your rival in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I actually did like her a lot. She actually became one of the rivals that I really grew to adore. I like the fact that she wasn't particularly the most nice rival, and that was a fun change of pace from the last few generations. She did care about you, she did follow you, but she did want to challenge you all the time. A lot of people make jokes about the fact that Nemona wanted to battle so much. I, for one, thought it was pretty cool because it was a great way to level up, and it showed that she really wanted to keep pace with you the entire way. I even like the fact that even though she wasn't strong in the beginning, she was a champion rank trainer, which is the typical, straying from your rival saying, I want to be a champion and the best trainer ever, because she pretty much had already done it, which was pretty neat. I also have to say that the battle with Nemona in post-game in the schoolyard area after you beat Gita is probably one of my favorite battles of the game, and I loved her reaction when she did this, and she's like, you did it. She always was very tough, very hard, but ultimately she was someone that gassed up your character and loved you. Definitely makes her worthy of top 3. Number 2. Larry. I am not exaggerating when I say Larry is not only one of the best Pokemon characters of all time, but one of the most relatable characters of all time. Larry is the normal and flying type trainer of the Medali Gym. You do see him later in the Elite Four, which is pretty cool because it never hurts to see Larry more than one time in a game. But Larry is a shirt and tie, suit, stuffy kind of guy that looks a bit uptight. He's a guy that's all about his money and wants to get back to work. Probably works a ton of overtime, probably doesn't see his family. But ultimately, we sympathize with Larry because we know what it's like to work so hard. But I love them making such a relatable character because not every gym leader had to be like, yay, I'm excited to be here. Larry just wanted to battle you, be done, and get back on the clock. He was even so nice enough to share a meal with you after you beat the Medali Gym, which I thought was very cool. But I think everyone pretty much loves Larry, and Larry deserves some sort of spin-off series. I just think he's that cool and amazing, but definitely worthy of a top 2 character in this gen. Number 1. Arvin. This is pretty funny because when I first met Arvin, my first thought was, this guy's a complete jerk. I'm gonna stay away from him. But you bond with him once the Path of Legends missions begins and you seek out Titans and the Urban Mystica together. It's pretty cool because that's when the layers come down. You start to learn a lot about Arvin. Bottom line is, this kid is just someone who was neglected by his parents, lonely because they were so busy with their research, So Mabosstiff became his companion, which is kind of sad. A lot of kids that have parents that worked a lot, they know what it's like to have a friend or a toy or even a pet that was their companion, so they relate to Arven in many ways. But you ultimately begin to become Arven's friend and you bond with him. And then in the crater, when everything goes down and he finds out his parents are a likeness, you watch him break down emotionally. It's very sad to see. But then at the end, he realizes that his friends are going to carry him through and he goes along and pretty much is there to figure out the rest of his life. I also have to say that the battle with Arven, when you go back to the lighthouse late in the game, is my favorite battle in the game. That battle was better to me than any of the Elite Four battles or the champion battle. Arven is not only a great battler, a person with a conflicted story that's relatable, but a soft heart underneath. And that makes him worthy of number 1. Do we have any favorites in common? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know what characters are your favorite in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and ding that bell so you know when videos go up. I am also RealMomEagle on all social media platforms, and I do live streams at twitch.tv/RealMomEagle. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.